We've heard a lot about sepsis recently and the effect it can have on people's lives. We now hear from a former patient who has made a good recovery from sepsis.
Well, I'd been feeling unwell for a couple of weeks before that, and I just thought it was a viral infection to start with, so I hadn't sort of bothered to do very much about it. And then it was about 10 days as I started to feel ill on the Wednesday before. So I started to feel ill on the Wednesday. Thursday and Friday thought it'll be a viral infection, it'll get better. The following Tuesday went to GP, got the first lot of antibiotics, and then the following Monday after that I went back to the GP, and that was when I got admitted to hospital. I couldn't work out what was wrong, but it didn't feel right, and I had this really dry cough and sweating all the time as well, really profuse night sweats. They didn't diagnose me with sepsis until I'd been in hospital. Initially they said, oh, we think it might be a pneumonia, and then they realised that I was breaking down my red blood cells. My red blood cell count was dropping drastically, and at that point one of the other doctors got involved, and he looked at my case and said, oh yes, I think it's a case of this pneumonia sepsis. When I was brought into hospital, they did a whole load of blood tests and things like that. They did a chest x-ray, and they started me on some antibiotics. When they discovered what the bug was that was causing the problems, they gave me a blood transfusion, so I had 2 bags of blood. They helped me with my breathing because I was struggling to get enough oxygen into my body for my own sort of health and well-being, and they changed the antibiotics. The treatment was excellent. You know, they did all the things that I needed them to do at the time. So I think had I not been diagnosed when I was, it could have had a very serious outcome. But I had a month off work after I came out of hospital, which I really kind of needed for my own recovery, because I was so drained, so tired. Even something as simple as having a shower and putting your clothes on meant you then had to go and have a lie down for an hour afterwards just to recover from the exertion of doing that. So it was very tiring. But by the time the month was up, I was kind of back to mostly where I'd been. As a healthcare worker, you kind of expect that it's out there, you just don't expect it to happen to you. I think that's the thing. It kind of came out of the blue from something I wasn't expecting, and it kind of caught me totally unawares, and it scared me how sick I got, how quickly I got sick. And when I was having my blood transfusion for the first time, that was an overnight transfusion, and I know that that's not something you do unless people are really ill. And I suddenly realised at that point, actually I'm really sick here, and it could have a very serious outcome. I think if people think that there may be something wrong with them, to get themselves checked out sooner rather than later. Don't leave it hoping you might get better, because that was the mistake I made. Had I sought treatment sooner, I might not have ended up in hospital. So I think if people feel unwell and they can't kind of put a finger onto what it actually is, go and get yourself checked out.